Hi guys, how are you all doing? Welcome to another conversation session. My name is Victoria. I almost forgot my name. That's crazy, right? Anyway, sorry guys, for the sound of my voice. So I've had cold for some days now. I'm getting better by the grace of God. So forgive me for the sound of my voice. Hopefully I'll be able to get through this video without coughing or sneezing or all the nastiness that comes with getting a cold. So I know my video for this week is supposed to be on education, but I'm going to leave that for next week. Now, there's something that I observed a few days ago that gave me concern, and I thought I really want to address, because, like I said, I feel like some of these things need to be spoken about. Somebody has got to say something. I may be a nobody, but at least it has to start from somewhere, right? So I wanted to have a conversation about this, and this is parenting these days. It's becoming a worrisome thing. Now, I know that every parent has a right to have their own style of bringing up their children, but there are a few things that if you don't do right, you damage the child. You can't, as a parent, I feel like it's very selfish of you to just do things your own way, just thinking about yourself, not thinking about your child. Now, I'm not going to, I don't want it to be like I'm sitting here talking about somebody's life, so I'm not going to even go into exactly what it is I saw. But I'm going to, based on what I saw, I'm going to touch on a few things, right? And one of the main things I want to talk about is this. A child is a child, okay? A child is a child. Nothing changes a child automatically into an adult unless that child goes through the transition, of growth. That's the only time. A 5-year-old is a child. So even if a 5-year-old, or let's say a child who is 5 years old, inherits like 10 billion pounds from their grandparents, it doesn't automatically change that child into an adult because all of a sudden they've got 10 billion pounds to their name. No. All it makes them is a billionaire child. So let's learn not to, and this is really, really begging parents, learn not to steal the innocency of a child. Learn not to deprive your children from living a childhood. Everybody deserves to look back when they grew and be able to say, you know what, this was my life when I was a child. Childhood days. But some children don't have that because their parents made them grow up quickly. So they were, and it's because we all get carried away we think it's a nice thing when somebody says, oh, you're so matured for your age. It's not always a compliment, guys. That's one thing I realized. Sometimes people don't mean it as a compliment. Sometimes it's good to just act your age. Okay? Number 2, do not leave the training and the upbringing of your child in anybody's hands. Not in the hands of their teachers. Not in the hands of their aunties and uncles. Not in the hands of their pastors. God gave those children to you for a reason. You are the mother or father of that child for a reason. So the number one person who needs to train them is you. If a child has to learn anything at all, it should be from the parent and it should be from home. All the teachers, all the pastors, all the aunties and extended families have to do is to develop that thing that you have trained or input into your child. So if you find a seed of any attitude or any attribute or anything at all in your child that wasn't planted by you, you have to work on uprooting it. Okay? Because a lot of parents are letting children down. Their mindset is, at the end of the day, my job is to provide for my child. And so they work from morning till night. And they leave the child in the hands of a nanny. A nanny is the one that will get the child ready and take the child to school. For, maybe say from 9 to 3, this child is in the hands of the teachers. Then from 3, the nanny picks the child up and is with the child, bathes the child, feeds the child, spends time with this child until the child goes to bed. The child never sees the parent. By the time this child wakes up, parents are already gone to work. And by the time parents come back from work, this child is gone to bed. Some people are even lucky to spend weekends with their parents. Some children, even weekends, their parents are busy. And yet the parents think that I'm compensating it by, oh, I buy her expensive toys. Oh, I buy him or her expensive gifts on their birthdays. That is not enough. that is never enough. I have heard parents that have said, I gave my child everything. I can't believe they turned out like this. Because guess what? Everything is not enough. You know, when you have some parents who are children pleasers. They want to please their children. I've heard a parent once say, I don't want my child to hate me. And that's the reason why I'm scared to correct her when she goes wrong. And I'm like, if you can't balance the relationship of being a friend, but at the same time being a parent to your child, then you need help. Oh yeah, you really, really do. Because I thank God for my mother. My mother is the kind of person that is very calm-hearted, but at the same time, she is like a military woman. My mother is my friend, and even to all my siblings, not just me. But the thing is, as much as my mother was our friend and we had like a friendly relationship with my mom, she always made sure she made it clear, like there was a clear demarcation that though I am relating to you on friendship basis, do not forget I am still the mother here and you are the child. Which meant that there were certain topics or there were certain areas you would not go because you know that, look, she's my friend, but she's not my playmate. Which is, which I think is a right form of parenting. The parenting are where you influence your child based on your lifestyle. So you get some parents who also tell children, don't do this. But they will do exactly the same thing in front of the child. And what that tends to teach the child is, don't do this because you're a child. And so they can't wait to grow up to do that thing. But maybe it's a bad thing. Okay? So let's learn to respect our children as much as we're teaching our children to respect other people. Now, I also believe in, if you're going to train a child, you have to have a good balance of both sides. So as much as you would punish a child when they go wrong, it's the same way that I feel like the child deserves a reward when they do something right. So they will understand. It's not like, because you have some parents where the good works of their children goes unnoticed. But let the child make one simple mistake, it becomes a tune for the whole year. It shouldn't be so. Everything should be recognized. As much as when I make a mistake, it's recognized and it's talked about and I'm disciplined. It's the same way when I do something good, I should be recognized. I should be rewarded. I should be praised. That way the child knows that everything they do in life comes with a result, be it good or bad. So yeah, I think that's something that we need to work on. Because, what I observed today, I was appalled by it. I was very sad. I only prayed in my heart that God will help this child. Because at the rate at which the mother is going with this child, not only is she creating problem for herself, she is almost robbing this child of a great future. A great future in the sense that this child will look back and feel like, my childhood was wasted. And I don't think any child deserves that. Every single child deserves nurturing from both parents. Let's assume that you're even a single mother that is watching this and you feel like the man that you had the children with, maybe your husband, maybe your boyfriend, whoever, has abandoned you and the kids and they are not taking care of the kids. I want to plead and beg with you not to pollute the minds of these children against their father, because it would not benefit you. I've always said to my friends who who came from broken homes, I've always said to them that any issue or any misunderstanding between your parents is none of your business. It's not. If my mom is having issues with my dad, that's their problem, not my problem. So I shouldn't be put in the position by my parents to pick a side, because their problem is not my problem. The fact that my mom and my dad has a problem doesn't mean that they cease being my parents. So my mom is still going to be my mom. I'm still going to love, respect, and relate with her. My dad is still going to be my dad. I'm still going to love, respect, and relate with him. And pray and hope that they sort themselves out. But when one person begins to pollute the children against the other, or you find cases where both parents put the child in a position to choose or pick a side, that's not fair. That's not fair. I didn't ask for both of you to come together and bring me into the world. So, irrelevant of whatever is going on with both of you, you have to know that if nothing at all, you owe me as your child a responsibility, a duty. So please, parents, no matter what happens between yourself and your spouse or your fiance or your boyfriend or whatever, learn to give your children the opportunity to have both parents in their lives. Don't sow the seed of bitterness in them for them to grow. And also, young ones, learn to stay out of your parents' problem. Because you find some young people that take it so personal. You know, my father cheated on my mother, and they're trying to do everything to punish their father. The Bible says, you may not be a Christian, so you may not believe in this. But I really, really hope that this will send a message to you. The blessing of a father sticketh. You need both your father and your mother. And it even encourages forgiveness as well. So if at all you feel like, okay, yes, my father has offended my mother and I'm not happy about it, I don't even feel like you are in the position to call your father and try to discipline him. Because like I said, it is not your business to start with. If at all you want to intervene, pray for them. Yeah, I think that's what you should do. Just pray for them. Because it's not in your place or position to intervene. All you know is both of them owe you a duty and a responsibility. Relate with both of them and take yourself out of their problems. So yeah, a child should be allowed to be a child. Certain parents are exposing children to so many things these days that are stealing the childhood of the childhood of these children. Does not even make sense. But I hope somebody gets what I mean. It's like they're robbing these kids of being kids. You know, they are making these kids grow before their time. Let's not rob children of their innocency. I pray that God will help each and every one of us to allow kids be kids. Allow teenagers be teenagers. Allow adults be adults. And for parents, let your number one priority be to be a part of your child's life. You find some parents that neglect their children because of work. Okay? And then when the children are now growing, so as the children are growing and they are also growing, they get to that age where now they are weak and they need somebody to be with them. Now they are trying to build a forceful friendship and relationship with their children that was never there. And it can't happen overnight. You know, it cannot happen overnight. Every relationship has to be built. So if for the past 18 years, yes, we've lived in the same house, you've been my mother, you've cooked for me and all, but we've never really sat down and have a chat. We've never really gone out together. We've never gone shopping. We've never done anything that has brought that mother and daughter bond. Don't think that now that I'm 18 or 19, all of a sudden you're going to call me and, you know, we're going to have that. No. I'm likely to speak to my friend about personal matters even before you. Why? Because maybe that friend, that auntie, that person was there for me when you weren't. So I have more confidence in them. It doesn't even mean that I hate you. It's just that's the seed you sowed. So that's what you're reaping now. So even if now, let's say you've awoken from your slumber and you want to make things right, you have to, you know, it's a gradual process. Don't force it. Don't push it. Because sometimes by doing that, certain parents have made matters worse. So, yeah, like I said, this was not planned at all. But based on what I observed the other day, and even today on the bus, I thought, yeah, I should talk about it. So, yeah. Stay tuned for my next video on education. Stay awesome.